Good morning, everybody. Shannon Morrison here. Holy cow. It is Wednesday morning at 7:15. Mylanta. All right, are we here? Really awake. I just got out of the shower. Getting ready for my day. It's gonna be a different day today. Anyway, it's kind of got me off kilter. Does anybody else have that feeling sometimes when you have to do something completely different than your normal? I don't even know what to do. All right, so we're here for it all. Coffee in hand. And you guys, it's going to be a great start to my morning. And that is hot. So excited. Okay. It's going to be actually kind of warmer today. Yesterday, when I got out of bed and went to work, it was 17 degrees. Or when I went out of the house, it was 17 degrees yesterday. And today, the high is going to be 60. So I am excited about that. I know the weather has been kind of interesting. It's always a conversation that we have is about the weather. Get us started. We have an amazing conversation today, and I'm just going to dive right in because I know you guys have been waiting for me. And this month we're talking about how to, just like a butterfly, right? A butterfly goes into the dark, it creates its cocoon, it hibernates, but it doesn't go backwards in the dark. It creates and it builds and it grows and he evolves into this beautiful, beautiful butterfly, right, in the spring. And that is our goal, is to evolve now so that in the spring we are this powerful, beautiful being, right? And emotionally and maybe even physically, but emotionally, definitely. I love nature. And ever since I've had this conversation, of course, the universe always has your back, right? The universe has been putting all these things about butterflies in front of me. So I have learned so much little things about butterflies that are absolutely beautiful. And yesterday, we have had so many conversations in my household about butterfly tattoos because my daughter wanted a butterfly tattoo. And this tattoo guy is like, oh my gosh, I have covered up so many butterflies, right? But I kind of now know why people probably want to get a butterfly on their body. Anyway, so I get messages. I put things in front of me all the time, right? You know me, we put positive words of affirmations in front of me. And yesterday I got a powerful statement from Trent Sheldon. And I've been on his texting list for, I don't even know now, probably 2 years, if not longer. And yesterday something came across and I was like, this is so for you guys. Okay. So what came across was, and I put it in the description of this live video too, and this is a conversation I'd love to have. And it says, progress is an ugly road that leads to a beautiful place. Never let go of how far you have to go, make you forget about who you are becoming along your journey. And this is absolutely powerful. And it reminds me of, I just had this conversation on Monday that I received. You know how your kids, I don't know, maybe your kids don't. My kids take pictures of me at the most inopportune time when maybe I don't look my best, slouching, and it's been a long day, or I just feel like I'm a hot mess, right? I don't know, maybe it's just my kids that do that, but my oldest daughter, whom, sidebar, turns 21 tomorrow. Holy smokes. Can you guys believe that? Let's just have a moment of silence for that. Ooh, 20. All right. Sent me a picture of me 4 years ago. And for a split second, and you might have heard this story again, so if it's just a split second, I'll bring this up. I was just like, oh. And then I got this download also, but I got to reframe it. But then this download came to me, and there is a reason for that, right? we get to look at our journey, and it may not be pretty, right? Our journey may not be pretty, and progress never seems to be glorious or streamlined or without drama, right? We're just gonna call it drama or chaos. It's like when you go and you're cleaning out your bedroom, or you send your kids in to pick up all the toys, right? When you go and you really deep clean in the fall, I need a deep clean. But when you go in and you deep clean in the fall, or anytime when you have time and you go into a room and you deep clean it, everything comes out and you go through it and you have a pile of donate, a pile of trash, and a pile of I gotta find a new home for this. And it looks like a mess, right? That progress looks like you just made a bigger mess and a tornado showed up in your room or in your house. And you're like, there is never ending pile of, I don't even know how I'm going to get this done in a day, right? And you get to that overwhelm where you're like, I don't even know if this is all worth it. Like, is this really worth it? And then maybe you even just start throwing things away. I wanted to create space Sitter Day. And I don't know if this lands, but I had 11,000 some odd emails in my inbox. In one of my inboxes, I have like 3. And it was overwhelming looking at all of those things. And I went back to like January of this year. And this might not be for everybody, and it might not have been a good thing, but I normally like save things and I move them to a folder if I need to keep them. I probably am not perfect at that. Okay. But I went to January and I was like cleaning out the emails and I was going through all of them and I was reading them, and 99.56%, just randomly putting that out there, were just like promotional emails, like nothing that I really needed to keep. It was nothing that was important to me. And I was just constantly deleting like 45 out of 50 emails every single page, right? So I went to January and I was like, okay, if I have not needed an email since January, do I really need them? And there's this fancy button that said delete all 11,000 blah, 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 blah. Because I'd sat there for over an hour going through and reading and making sure it was all promotional stuff. I deleted them all. One fell swoop. And I was like, at first I felt like, oh my goodness, like, am I going to survive this? Right? Am I going to survive this? And then all of a sudden I was like, wow, like that was a cleansing. That was refreshing. Has anybody ever done that before? Because it's probably just me, but I was just like constantly trying to get rid of these and make bandwidth, make space, not have to like go through so many things all the time, because I felt like I wasn't gaining anything. And you guys, like today, I go through there. Yesterday I went in there and there was like 40 emails and most of them were promotional stuff. And so I get to unsubscribe to the things that don't serve me, right? It was so interesting. However, every single time I need to find an email or I need to search something, all I've had to do for the last probably 5 years is just search a name, and like so many conversations come up. I'm not going to be able to do that anymore, but it is fine. I think I'll live a better life. I think it'll be great. Anyway, so that was just me, a moment in my life. But our journey of progress isn't beautiful. Our journey of progress may look like chaos. Let me know if this lands for you. Our journey of progress is different and unique for the next person, right? I can't even talk. We are the only us that's here. And so the only person that we get to compare ourselves and our progress to is the human that we looked in the mirror yesterday and was like, what are you creating today, sister? What are you creating today, sir? Right? That's the only person that you need to worry about comparing or evaluating or looking at their day or what they're creating or what they didn't create. I went to bed last night and I was like, I don't think I created enough today. I don't feel accomplished today. And I get to release that. And so I did. Like, some days just don't pan out the way you envision. And that's also okay. So what does this feel like to you guys? It really resonated with me with the going into the fall and creating something new. Going into the fall, and we tend to work really hard, not to fall back, to push forward. And it's the last quarter, right? If we're business people, entrepreneurs, it's the last quarter, and there's all these things like 90-day rush, or a sale to silver, or 30-day challenge, right? I'm in a 30-day Meta Power challenge to change your health span, not your lifespan, your health span. And there's all these different pushes, and there's a reason for it, is to really align us with what we want to create, so that we don't go into hibernation and really sink into a hole, right? Sink into that hole of worrying about how ugly the progress is, or worrying about how slow our progress is, or thinking, I didn't make any freaking progress today, right? Have you ever had days like that where you're like, I went in circles all day long. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life today, right? We all have days. And everybody has seasons too. Like, it depends on where you are in your life. My is it's completely unique to me this year, right? We've had that discussion since August, and my youngest came home, and it was so fun to have her. Of course, I realized she was home because there was like dirty dishes downstairs in the basement, and I was like, Courtney's home. I was like, holy crap. But she made her bed when she left, which I was like, holy cow, like her room was completely clean. Everything was folded and her bed was made. And I was like, what is happening right now? That is progress, right? Way different than when she left. Her room was like a tornado because she packed everything in one night and we left at 4 a.m. the next day, right? And so, I don't know. I think we don't give ourselves enough grace, and we don't think about the progress we made. And I know that I practice this a lot. I teach it, and yet I still get to remind myself that the progress and the journey is as beautiful as the destination, right? It just doesn't look pretty at the moment. And we get to focus on who we are becoming. So that leads into, who do you want to become? Who are you creating? What are you creating? What is your vision for your life, for your family, for your emotional state? What is your goal? I asked just this question the other day. What is your vision? Right? I envision what I want to create every single morning. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. But I put out a vision of what I want to create, how I want to show up. Like, I want to be okay with today being completely different. I get to go out of town today and not sit at work all day, but I get to go out of town and help a family member today. And I get to bring joy, and I get to not be stressed out about it. And I get to be open to, this might not go smoothly and it's still going to be okay. I get to be open that I don't even know, the construction's not going to get in our way or whatever, right? Instead of starting your day or starting your journey of what you're creating into how hard or challenging this is going to be, because this is my experience, we get to be like, what are we creating? And who am I becoming along this journey? Just like that picture the other day, I looked at it and for a split second, I was like, I don't like what I'm seeing. My mind went to negative things. And my youngest daughter looked at the picture and said, look how hard you've worked. Look how far you've come, which is extremely, extremely true, right? Inside and outside, I'm a completely different human being than I was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I found generational emotional mapping. So a lot has happened, right? I've done GEM on myself and my family for 4 years now. And who I am and how I show up for humans is completely different. How I feel when I look in the mirror is completely different. And that is because I changed the inside. Not because I changed the outside first, it's because I changed the inside first. And it is a work in progress. And then we all know that I had diet restrictions, right? And so I figured those out and stopped eating those things that hurt my stomach. So that was a positive too for inflammation, right? But we get to really look into and appreciate the process. So if this lands, we could talk about this subject a long time. And let me know. I know there's somebody here watching. I don't know. I love this statement. And I think that, I think I'm going to post about it, in another group because, this just really, really lands for me, and the women that I serve regarding, anybody who has had emotional trauma in their life get sucked into the wishes and the shouldas and the wouldas and the couldas, and it gets us stuck into a spiral of still continuing not to move forward. And that can happen with anybody, but it really lands with me because my gremlins tend to hold me back, right? Our gremlins get in the way and they show up as procrastination, and they show up as unworthiness or fear because we don't know what we are creating in the end, like, right? Or we second guess that we're actually not going to become what or who we want to become. And it stops us in our tracks, that second guessing or that gremlin of self-protection from our brain, right? So that's another thing that happens in this progress or this process, that is not so pretty, is your brain's job. Its only job, not its only job, but its first and foremost job is to protect us. If we're going to touch a hot stove, our brain tells us no, it's going to be hot, right? If we're crossing a highway, it's going to say, no, there's a car coming. You got to stop. Our brain's job is to protect us. And so if something is out of the ordinary, if something is new, our brain doesn't know if it's safe or not. And it goes to back in the primitive days of, I might get eaten by a Siberian tiger, right? And this might be really off kilter here, but that's what our brain does, is like goes back to caveman, and the Siberian tiger is gonna eat us. And so we have to back up and we have to hold on to what we know, even though it's not progress. I see there's 2 people here. So if that lands, let me know, put a heart or put a hands up sign, because that stalls our progress more than anything. I feel like I call it our nerds or the gremlins, the little words in the back of your head, that don't let you go live when you want to go live, that tell you to push snooze when you're laying in bed and you have a big day. All of a sudden I have 4 comments. Okay. Oh, didn't mute myself. Sorry, guys. Good morning, Sharon. Oh my gosh. I see your comments now. Oh, you have to do your pictures? Yes. My mind never stops either. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Yes, your coffee run. Awesome. I'm so glad that you're here. Um, yes, like you guys, I think that's the progress. Like we don't see progress. That's another thing is when you're looking at progress, and we're talking about in 30 days challenge, our metabolic challenge, your body's going to change if you're raising your metabolism. Your body's going to change if you're working out. And if you're exercising or you're feeding your body different fuel, your body will change. The measurements will change. Maybe the scale won't change, but you feel more comfortable in your clothes, or you're gonna see inches change, or your body like shape change, right? Because if you're working out and you're feeding your body different fuel, you might gain weight. I gained weight, right? Because muscle is heavier than the other, right? We're not going to talk about the negative words, but muscle is just heavier. And you don't think every single day when you look at yourself that there's a difference, right? That's why you're always encouraged to take before and after pictures, or before pictures. And I have up until now not enjoyed taking pictures of before and after. And just the other day, I went in to check in with my nutritionist, and person that helped me, okay, let's just be honest, she kicked my ass before my wedding. And I am 15 months out. Yeah, think of the term out of shape. I am like so out of shape. You guys, yeah, for sure. Out of shape. Absolutely. And then we shape. So we have before and after pictures. She took them. I did not take them. And it's so interesting to see them. And we all change. My body has changed since I got married. I've been married for over a year. You guys, it's been like 15 months. And my body has changed still, because I'm not actively lifting or doing strength training every single day or 5 times a week, right? And it's okay. We get to just get back on the wagon, right? We have times of inconsistency, and that's okay too. And like I said, we have seasons, and we get to create what we want to create. And I moved my my mind of what I wanted to create to a different space, and that was programs and other things. So, but anyway, so just remember that we won't be able to see the progress every single day. But if we write things down, if we are writing our gratitude, if we write in our journal, and we look at it again later, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, if we see how we showed up in our life today, in 5 years from now, we look back on it and we're like, wow, we learned so much in the last 5 years. And that is what I'm sitting in, right? The progress wasn't quick. The progress may not be quick for you. The progress may not be the most beautiful thing that you've ever thought possible. But when you look at it 1 year from now, or you look at it 2 years or 5 years from now, you're going to be like, dang, look how far I've come. Look at the beautiful human that I have become. Look at how much I have learned. Look at how I showed up for my family. Look at the impact that I have created by this book that I wrote, right? All the different things that you're creating right now, you might not see progress all day, because you're like, I have not even written a chapter in 3 months, right? Right? But it's okay. All right, you guys, absolutely. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you light today. Thank you so much for being here, Sharon. This really resonated. I hope it landed for you. We get to create what we want to create, and progress is not always pretty, and it's not always as fast as we want it to be. But it's still progress, and it's still you becoming the beautiful you that you're meant to be. Just move forward 1% every single day. All right. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Have an amazing day, you guys. We'll talk to you next week.